In this video, I will show you a basic guide on how to complete the main Easter egg for Citadelle De Morts in Black Ops 6. I will soon be uploading another video showing you tips and tricks to do this Easter egg more efficiently, as this is one of the longer Easter eggs for zombies in Black Ops 6. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and without further ado, let's get into it. The first step of this Easter egg is to make your way through the map and follow the objectives to activate the Pack-a-Punch machine. Once you have done this, and unless you are playing undirected, the objectives will disappear. So you will now need to make your way over to the dungeons, and behind the small opening behind Quick Revive, you'll be able to open a small hatch. This will activate some dialogue between the crew and Krafft, and as long as you stay in that area, you will not be targeted by any zombies until the border of your screen turns purple. You can now start collecting the things you need for the Easter egg. Head back to the tavern and you will find 6 small bottles with Roman numerals engraved on them. Interact with each of them and make note of all the symbols that show, as well as the Roman numeral bottle it appears on. The first bottle can be found at the end of the bar, the second bottle can be found on the table next to the armory, the third bottle can be found on the table in the very corner next to the bar in front of the entrance to the basement, the fourth bottle can be found on the top floor on a table by the pool table, the fifth bottle can be found almost opposite the second bottle on the table, and the sixth bottle can be found on your left on the table when you enter the tavern, from the doorway next to the gobblegum machine. Now head over to the sitting rooms, and in this room you'll find 4 different pages around the room. They can be found in lots of different locations in this room and can be quite hidden, but you will be able to find one page in each section of the sitting rooms shown on the screen now. Once you have all 4 pages, you will now need to buy melee macchiato, as it is needed for this next step. Head down to the undercroft, and on the south wall, you will see a part of the wall that looks like it is breakable. Punch this with your fists while having the melee macchiato perk, and part of the wall will break down. This wall has some symbols on it, which will correlate to the ones you found when interacting with the bottles in the tavern. You will need to shoot the symbols in order from 1 to 6, in Roman numerals. Do note that the symbols will change and move around every time you shoot them, and they will also change if you take too long to shoot them. When you have successfully shot them all in the correct order, a small orb will appear and open the section of the wall beside it. You now need to place the missing pages into the book. Make note of these symbols in order from top left, top right, and bottom right, as if you were reading a normal book. Around the map there will be point of power traps that need to be activated in the order shown in the book. The symbols correlate to that of which are on the book, and can be identified by the white glowing outlines on the traps. You will need to activate them and kill enough zombies for the trap to charge up and then deactivate itself, giving you the go ahead to find and activate the next trap. You can find all the traps at Hilltop just outside the barn, at Village Ascent next to the well, in the courtyard at the bottom of the stairwell, in the sitting rooms in the middle of the room, in the dungeon in between the ammo crate and the mystery box location, and in the oubliette room, in front of the Pack-a-Punch. Once you have successfully deactivated the final trap, you will get a small dialogue quote from Krafft indicating that you've done it correctly. If you haven't already, you will need to wait until round 10 to continue on. This is because this will be when you first come across a helmeted zombie. You will need to kill this for it to drop a stamp. Go back to the dining hall and you will see 4 knight statues with swords. Interact with the stamp on any one of the statues for them to hand you their bastard sword. Now that you have this, you can start to upgrade it. To continue through the Easter egg, you will need to upgrade all 4 swords, and can be done in any order. Do note that a helmeted zombie will spawn once every round until all stamps have been given to the knights. These helmeted zombies also don't count as round zombies, so they will stay on the map through rounds. The first sword that we will upgrade is the Lion Sword, also known as Solus. To do this, you will need to go up to the knight with the inscription of a lion on their chest plate. As soon as you grab his sword, glowing parasites will spawn, which you will need to strike down with the sword to make it glow. You'll now need to head down to the upper village and whack your sword against the door, close to the well, with a lion head knocker on it. Do this 4 times and you will then need to interact with it to knock and enter. Once you are in here, head through all the way to the pedestal and place your sword inside of it. 4 symbols will now shoot out and you will need to shoot them one at a time in the order shown on the pedestal. To make it easier for you, the symbols will always need to be shot in the same order. So this is the order you will need to shoot them in. Be careful, as the longer you take, the more zombies will spawn in that small room you're in. Once you have shot all the symbols in the correct order, all zombies in that area will die and the sword will become empowered. Once you pick up the sword, it will automatically exit you out of the area. The second sword we can upgrade is the Dragon Sword, also known as Caliburn. Next to the Lion Knight statue, you will find the statue with the inscription of a dragon crawling on the chest plate. Take this sword and head up the stairs in the entrance hall and insert the sword into the pedestal in front of the dragon's head. You will now need to head out to 3 locations on the map where small cauldrons will be on fire. The closest one is in the village ramparts to the east of the cannon. You must interact with it, and when you do, you will be granted a speed boost and a strong punch. However, you will be lit on fire and will take damage every second. You must take this power given to you and transfer it into the pedestal where you placed your sword. Do note that you can one-hit zombies, and in doing so will regenerate your health fully. Just don't switch to your guns, otherwise you will lose the firepower. You must do this for all 3 cauldrons found on the map. As I've said, the first one is in the village ramparts to the east of the cannon, the second one is in the nature path at the bottom of the hill, and the third one is in the town square in the corner next to the bottom of the clock tower. Once you have successfully transferred all the firepower to the sword, the dragon will empower the sword and you will have gained the upgraded dragon sword. The third sword we can upgrade is the stag sword, also known as Durundal. Opposite the dragon sword statue, you'll find a knight with the inscription of a stag's head on it. Pick up this sword and you will now need to start to collect 3 different lightning rods. Do note that these can be collected in any order. The first one can be found if you head down to the dungeon, and down here, you'll need to wait for around a couple seconds so that an armored zombie with a lightning rod stuck in its ribs will spawn. Kill it and then pick up its lightning rod. Next, head to the upper village, and opposite the door which you opened with the lion door knocker, you will find a fuse box. Either shoot it with a gun that has the dead wire ammo attached to it, or throw a shock charge at it, so it can send an electrical current through to the top of the house. A lightning rod will then pop off and land on the ground next to the fuse box, where you can then pick it up. The final lightning rod can be found on the hilltop next to the Deadshot Daiquiri machine, leaning up against some boxes. Now head up to the hillside ramparts and insert all 3 lightning rods into the weather machine. The area will now become cloudy, and you'll now need to wait for your sword to charge up with electricity, and then whack the machine to electrify it. Do this 3 times and the clouds will disappear, which will then let you insert the sword into the weather machine. Once you've done this, the sword will charge up with electricity and you will be able to collect it. The fourth and final sword you can upgrade is the Void Sword, also known as Balmung. The Raven Knight statue is located next to the Stag statue, and once you pick this up, you will need to enter the alchemical lab, and on one of the desks or the shelves in this room will be an antiquity. Once you pick this up, head back to the tavern cellar, and opposite the wall with the fast travel portal, you will be able to place the antiquity onto the circular machine on the wall. You will also need to insert your sword and interact with it again to start the puzzle. Do note that zombies will not target you whilst you are interacting with this machine. Unless you know your star signs and whatever this is, you may want to use this screenshot to help you with the code. Once this is entered incorrectly, you will automatically exit the puzzle and small orbs will start to exit the machine and follow you. It is your job to transfer these orbs into the small portals on the ground. You will need to transfer 3 orbs into the portal for it to progress to the next portal. If you do get too close, the orb will explode and deal damage to you. Once you transfer the orbs to all 3 portals, you will need to head back to the tavern cellar and interact with the machine on the wall with the antiquity. Once the sword goes through the portal, it will become empowered and you will be able to pick it up. Now that all the swords are upgraded, you can move on to find all the different incantations. Do note that you can unlock these incantations in any order. The first incantation you can unlock is the electric incantation. Head over to the barn on the hillside and shoot the horseshoe just on the inside of the entrance to the barn. This will fall and you'll be able to pick Otto's horseshoe up. Once you've done this, use the cannon to transport you back to the town square, and in doing so, you should be electrocuted. Look up above both exits to the town square and try to find a small electric cloud. Once you see it, head over and you will find a horseshoe ready to be collected, but beware as zombies will spawn around you, trying to prevent you from getting to it. Once you have picked up Pegasus' horseshoe, head back to the town square, and just next to the entrance to the nature path, you will find that a glowing gold circle will have appeared on the ground. Interact with the middle of it to place down Pegasus' horseshoe. Once you have done this, an infinite amount of zombies will start to spawn, and you must kill them to collect their souls. Once enough souls are collected, all of the non-round zombies will perish, and a small chest will have appeared where you place down the horseshoe. Whack the chest with the electric sword to open, and inside will be the electric incantation. The next incantation you can collect is the fire incantation. For this, you will need to light up 3 bonfires found around the courtyard and upper village. These can be found on top of the small building where Elemental Pop is located, on top of the entrance, just outside the entrance hall, and just above the Speed Cola perk machine. You can light these up with a bunch of different things, including thermal grenades, molotovs, the fire sword's ability, and other means of setting things on fire. When you set a bonfire alight, it will spawn a couple of zombies each time. Once all bonfires are lit, it will spawn a doppelgast, and once this is killed, it will drop Ra's Ank. Now head to the bottom level of the courtyard, and just opposite the armory, you will see a glowing gold circle appear on the ground. Interact with the middle of it to start the small ritual, where you will need to kill enough zombies and collect their souls. Once enough are collected, all non-round based zombies will die, and a small chest will appear where you place down Ra's Ank. Again, whack this with the fire sword to open it, and you will be able to collect the fire incantation. The next incantation you can collect is the life incantation. Just above the Vulture Raid perk machine in the dining hall, you'll find a small crystal glowing on a round reflective metal piece. You will need to shoot and direct this to make the crystal beam onto the next crystal. Keep on doing this until you are in the alchemical lab and have directed the beam onto the small statue on the desk. After a short time, a paladin's brooch will appear, which you can pick up. Head on over to the entrance to the dining hall, and a glowing gold circle will appear on the ground. As with the other circles, interact with the middle of it to place down the paladin's brooch and collect enough zombie souls by killing them, and you will then need to open the chest that appears with the lion sword. The final incantation you can unlock is the dark incantation. You will need to head on down to the sewers and take the shortcut back to spawn. Close to the end of the shortcut, you will find a raven on a bit of rock by the exit of the shortcut. Shoot this to make it fly out of the sewers. You will now need to shoot it again and kill it, and its talon will slowly float down to the ground. Pick up the raven's talon and take it back to the undercroft, and just next to the exit to the undercroft stairwell, a glowing gold circle will appear. Place down the Raven's Talon and kill enough zombies to collect their souls. Once this is done, use the Void Sword to open the chest and you can then collect the Dark Incantation. Now that all the swords are upgraded and incantations unlocked, you can go to the final steps of the Easter egg. Make your way to the Undercroft stairwell, and on their wall you will find 4 symbols, including a lion, a dragon, a stag, and a raven. Take note of these in order from up, right, down, and then left. Head back to the knight statues, and you will now need to use the incantation on the statue that is first on your list of the order you took down from the wall. You will now need to immediately after using the incantation on the statue, showcase its sword in front of it, and it will do a little animation showing you done it correctly. Repeat this 3 more times in the order shown on the wall and you will have done this step correctly. For the lion statue you will need Solaris and the life incantation. For the dragon statue you will need Caliburn and the fire incantation. For the stag statue you will need Durundal and the lightning incantation. Finally for the raven statue you will need Balmung and the dark incantation. Once you have done this to all 4 statues in the correct order, a small orb will float down which you can pick up. This orb will now need to be powered up by all 4 elements, and to do so you'll need to do 4 trials. Do note that these can be done in any order. You can first head up to the upper level of the dining hall, and on the opposite side of the room to the Voltrade perk machine, you can place the orb into a small insert. Interact with it to start the trial, where you must run around the dining hall and run through some green orbs. Lots of zombies will start to spawn during this and will spawn infinitely, so be careful. Once enough green orbs are collected, they will stop spawning and the orb you place down will have slightly powered up, letting you pick it back up. The next trial you can start is by going to the Undercroft, and next to this chest with the dark incantation there will be another small insert. Place this in and interact with the orb to start the trial. You will now need to kill zombies with either an activation of the Shadow Rift effect from the ammo mod, dark incantation, or the Void Sword and its special ability, or by using the Dark Flare field upgrade. Once this is charged up, you will be able to pick it back up and go to the next trial. The next trial you can start is by going to the town square, and next to the chest with the electric incantation is another insert which the orb can be placed into. Once interacted with, you will need to get zombie kills by either the dead wire effect from the ammo mod, or the electric sword and its special ability, or the electric incantation. Once enough zombies are killed and it's charged, you will be able to pick this back up. The final trial you can do is at the bottom of the courtyard, just next to the center stairwell. Once you place the orb into the small insert, the trial will begin where you must kill zombies that are on fire. Once this has been completed, you will have fully charged up the orb. Take this back to the wall of the Undercroft stairwell with the lion, dragon, stag and raven symbols. Place the orb into the middle of the wall and wait for the door to open. Once it is open, enter inside and interact with the guardian key on the table. Some dialogue will start to play, and during this time, you will not be attacked by any zombies as long as you stay in that secret room. Once you have finished listening to the dialogue, you are now boss fight ready. You also don't need to listen to all the dialogue to collect the guardian key. In my opinion, this is the hardest boss fight, and I have only ever completed this very few times solo without directed mode, and I have attempted it 30 to 40 times. Make sure you are fully armored up with a Pack-a-Punch 3 gold rarity weapon with some good gobblegums to help out. Once you are ready, head on over to the town square and place the guardian key at the base of the statue's foot, in the middle. Once this is done, you will be teleported into the boss arena, and you will need to defeat the guardian. This battle is set into 3 phases, and after every phase, guardian will go into the middle of the arena and become immune. During this time, more zombies will spawn. The arena will also become smaller with every phase, with lava pouring into the outskirts of it, leaving only a small platform for you to fight on. You will need to damage its armor for it to break, and shoot its vulnerable weak spots to deal maximum damage. After all armor is broken on its body and vulnerable spots destroyed, its chest will become the permanent weak spot for you to shoot and deal great critical damage. If you manage to successfully beat this boss, congratulations. If you manage to defeat it solo, you have my greatest respect, as it is definitely the most difficult boss fight in Black Ops 6. So far anyway. If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing this video, as I will be bringing out a tips and tricks guide to help you out every step of the way to make this long Easter egg seem super quick with being efficient with your time, essence and salvage. Until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next one.